The stars of the Gliesa sector twinkled quietly, stretching across the black canvas of space like distant fires. Human eyes on the bridge of the starship. Dauntless scanned them with wonder, unaware that within hours, their lives, and the fate of their species, would change forever. Commander Elena Voss leaned over the holographic display, watching as diplomatic envoys from the Zorath, a species considered the deadliest in known space, approached. They were tall, sleek, and terrifyingly silent. Their skin shimmered with metallic hues reflecting the starlight, and their eyes, black as the void, showed nothing of emotion. To most species, the Zorath were a nightmare, a perfect hunter, a force without mercy. Humanity had thought itself cautious. It had thought it clever. "Maintain standard greeting protocol," Elena said calmly, though her pulse raced. "Remember, we are here to negotiate, not provoke." The human delegation approached the Zorath vessel slowly, shields raised, weapons concealed but ready. They had come to propose a minor trade agreement, rare metals for technology. But the Zorath considered all other species inferior. Any perceived insult could be interpreted as a challenge, a declaration of war. Ambassador Rinaldi, the chief diplomat, adjusted his ceremonial sash nervously. "Commander, are you sure about this? These are the Zorath. We're lucky to be alive just speaking to them." Elena nodded. "We have no choice. Keep calm and follow protocol. Humans have survived worse odds before. We can survive this." The Zorath ship's hull rippled as if it were breathing. Then, without warning, a small miscalculation occurred. Ambassador Rinaldi, trying to bow slightly, accidentally touched the Zorath insignia with the wrong hand. The Zorath recoiled, their eyes narrowing. In Zorath culture, the hand used in greetings carried deep meaning. To use the wrong hand was the same as raising a weapon. A deadly silence filled the bridge. Elena's stomach tightened. "Ambassador," she whispered. The Zorath commander's voice cut through the comm system, calm but cold. "You have insulted us. You are now our enemy." The words hit like a meteor. Elena's fingers flew over the console. "Initiate defensive formation." "Shields up. All weapons ready." Within minutes, Zorath reconnaissance drones appeared. Sleek black ships moving faster than anything human technology had built. They swarmed the human fleet, analyzing, probing, and striking with precision. Humanity's outer colonies, unprepared for such sudden aggression, sent out urgent distress signals. Panic rippled across Earth and the colonies. Meanwhile, on the bridge of the Dauntless, humans realized their situation. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and facing a species that learned and adapted faster than any human mind could predict. Yet even in the face of overwhelming odds, something inside the crew sparked, a familiar, human fire. "We've been through worse," muttered Lieutenant Marcus Ree, young but fearless as he took his position in the fighter bay. "We just need to think smarter than they do." Elena nodded. "Exactly. Humans survive because we adapt. We turn mistakes into advantage. We fight differently than anyone else. Remember that. It's our edge." The first encounter came on the edges of the Orion Belt, a cluster of asteroids and debris. The Zorath fleet was sleek and efficient, sending volleys of energy bolts that tore through human ships. But humans were unpredictable. Elena ordered the fleet to split and take cover among the asteroids. Mines were planted not as weapons but as distractions. As Zorath ships followed, human fighters leaped from hidden positions, striking with precise bursts of fire before disappearing into the rocks. Marcus led a daring raid, flying his small fighter through a dense asteroid field. The Zorath chased him, but human instincts, reflexes honed from years of chaotic planetary conditions, allowed him to twist and turn through impossible gaps. One by one, he disabled Zorath drones and then he vanished, leaving the enemy confused and frustrated. On Earth, the news was terrifying. Scientists and military leaders worked tirelessly to find a solution. Humanity's strength was not in sheer power but in ingenuity. Teams of engineers converted old space stations into makeshift fortresses. They used asteroid belts, radiation zones, and gravitational anomalies to create traps for the Zorath. Dr. Amina Patel, a physicist on Earth, stared at a holographic map. "They think they can overwhelm us with speed and precision. But humans think outside the box. We can't outfight them, but we can outsmart them. We can make the environment our weapon." Her words became the guiding strategy. Human engineers created magnetic nets that could disrupt the Zorath ship's energy shields. rerouted asteroid paths to collide with enemy craft, and even used solar flares as natural cover for their fleets. Each small victory gave humans hope, even when facing catastrophic losses. Meanwhile, the Zorath commanders began to realize they had underestimated humans. They had fought countless species, many of whom surrendered after one or two defeats. Humans did not surrender. Humans improvised. Humans learned. Every human tactic, no matter how unconventional, became a challenge that forced the Zorath to adapt, and humans adapted faster. Elena convened a meeting with her top officers on the Dauntless. They're fast, they're lethal, and they expect us to break. But they don't know humans. We are unpredictable. We improvise. We survive. That's what makes us dangerous. The plan was risky. Human pilots would draw the Zorath into a trap using decoy fleets. Hidden ships would strike from unexpected directions. The decoys would mimic human mistakes, luring the Zorath into areas filled with mines, gravity distortions, and electromagnetic disruptions. Marcus prepared his fighter. "This is it," he said to his co-pilot Lyra. "One shot, one chance. Let's show them why humans are not easy prey." As they jumped into the asteroid field, the Zorath pursued, expecting a straightforward battle. But humans had turned the chaotic terrain into an advantage. Energy blasts ricocheted harmlessly off asteroids, while human ships moved unpredictably, striking with accuracy and disappearing before retaliation. The Zorath, despite their speed and skill, struggled to adapt to human unpredictability. The battle raged for hours, and humans suffered losses, but each loss taught them something new. Each engagement refined their strategies. Earth scientists coordinated remotely, analyzing Zorath patterns, predicting their movements, and sending instructions to commanders in the field. Back on the bridge of the Dauntless, Elena watched the holographic battlefield unfold. Every move we make, every risk we take, they learn. But we learn faster. We are the species they underestimated. That will be our weapon. By the end of the day, the Zorath retreated temporarily, confused and frustrated. They had never faced an opponent who turned vulnerability into strength. Humans had survived their first strike, not because they had better weapons, but because they had creativity, courage, and a refusal to accept defeat. On Earth, celebrations were quiet but meaningful. Humanity had faced extinction-level threats and lived. They knew this was only the beginning. The Zorath would return more determined than ever. But humans had a secret weapon the galaxy had never seen: the human spirit, unpredictable, unbreakable, and deadly in its own way. Elena gathered her crew on the bridge. "We made a mistake, yes. We declared war without meaning to, but now we know what humans can do. We survive, we adapt, we fight back, and when they come again, they will see that humans are not just another species. We are the most lethal because we never give up." Marcus smiled, looking out at the stars. "They think they are hunters. They will find out they are prey, the kind that fights back smarter than any predator expects." And so humanity entered a war it had not sought, against a species it could easily have feared. Yet the humans were ready, not because they had superior numbers or superior weapons, but because they had what no species could teach: ingenuity, courage, and a will to survive. The galaxy would soon learn that humanity was the most lethal species alive, not because of killing power, but because humans never stopped fighting, never stopped learning, and never, ever surrendered.